A very good evening to you. Welcome to the Situation Room, live on mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Today is Friday, and I want to specially welcome you to the last edition of the show for the week. Today is the 18th day of August 2023. If you check your time, it's 2 minutes past 4, and this program comes up on the airwaves every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. And then what we basically do is to look at government policies, we look at the politics, we look at governance and leadership, we look at those policies of the government, that are meant to improve the quality of lives of the people. I mean, that's the basic responsibility of the government beyond providing security. So we look at those policies of the government, especially those that probably does not particularly, appeal to the yearnings and aspirations of the Nigerian people. It looks like a lot of people have not moved on from the 2023 election. Yes, we understand the fact that the legitimacy of that result is still being challenged in court by both the PDP and the APC, and the Labour Party. But all through this week, conversation around a particular billboard that was erected somewhere and I was, sending a message to the judiciary, that was removed. I mean, it just tells us how we allowed, or how low we stooped in the last election to have allowed some of our sentiments to dictate our voting pattern. The people we voted for, how we voted, the choices we made politically, we're here now, and we're wondering, how did we get to this point? And well, it's always the open mic on Fridays, but the last 3 Fridays we've had guests, so I already said I was going to bring back the open mic Friday, at least for today, unless I will move from there, because there are issues that needs to be explained. There are issues that need to be broken down to the people. Some of these policies, I was watching the interview of Mr. Femi Falana, about the floating of the naira, and he faulted the federal government to have floated the naira in the first place. And if you look at the the CBN reports that came out last week Thursday or thereabout, towards the end of last week, I read through it. As much as I don't, pride to know so much about that part of the economy, but I think I got the basic message that I need about the fact that there was so much, level of recklessness in the last administration when it regards to, the CBN, the lending rates. It was reported to have jumped about 30 times higher. How the CBN was lending monies to the government. It just tells us that it's going to be a little difficult, especially when you look at the price of petrol in the market right now. And I think we've said this over and over again. Each time petrol goes up, everything else follows. It's as simple as that. This one gets 10 naira increments. This one certainly goes. And the moment the naira is also, battling so hard, I think it went the lowest against the naira in history, about naira 51 naira last week, and it's still been fluctuating between that period. Although the federal government had come out to say that for now there won't be increments. And the prices of petroleum products, well, 5 billion was released to all of the 36 states and the FCT yesterday as part of palliatives from the federal government, to help the states to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy. And excuse me, I think sometime last month on this show, I will raise the conversation around, how we often focus so much on the presidency and we forget the fact that we have state executives, also that's the governors, the commissioners, and all of them are also saddled with the responsibility, rather, of taking governance closer to the people. And so when, issue of public accountability is raised and then people just focus on the presidency, now the governors have gotten 5 billion each, irrespective of the population of your states, whether you're from Zamfara, you're from Bayelsa, you're from Lagos, everybody got 5 billion naira each, including the FCT, by the way. So, well, I think this is the point where we need people to start holding our governors accountable. If it seems there will be some monies coming through, remember also that when the monthly allocation was shared last month, it was reported to be the highest since we returned to democracy in 1999. So it means that the money is over trillions that Mr. President had come to announce to Nigerians that they've saved from the removal of subsidy needs to be reinvested. And in the course of this week, also, there were rumors that the presidency is thinking or putting, things in place to bring out temporary subsidy. Well, the presidency came out to, rebuff that rumor, and he said it's just speculations of some mischief makers. But yesterday, the governor of Borno State, His Excellency Babagana Zulum, came out to announce that the president, that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has approved 5 billion naira each for every state. So what the governors choose to do with the money is now for the people to start asking questions, and these questions really need to be asked. So that we don't get to that point where we pour all of the blames on Mr. President. Well, he had made it very clear that state governors would decide what their minimum wages will be like. So there's no, generally there's no umbrella minimum wage. There's no generally accepted minimum wage across all states. You would have to put all of that structure in line with what your states can afford to, in line with the capacity of your state in terms of IGRs, in terms of allocation that is coming in from the federation account at the end of every month. So if Lagos State, for instance, can afford to pay 500,000 as minimum wage, go ahead and do that. If Zamfara cannot afford to pay that same amount of money, Zamfara can afford to pay what they can afford to pay. It's as simple as that. So about with the 5 billion now in the state coffers, hopefully, especially the new governors that just set up their cabinets across board, state like Zamfara, for instance, state like Plateau States, there's been change of guard even from political party. Bello Matawali lost his re-election in Zamfara State. The PDP won the election on the Plateau. The APC candidate also lost the election. The PDP won the election. So in those states, the governors would have something to, settle with and get into work. Is just a big responsibility on the governors right now. And he basically just says, Mr. President admitting that they cannot do everything. So I break it down, empower the governors and then make the people ask them for accountability. How did you spend the 5 billion? And this 5 billion is not part of the monthly allocation that state will still get at the end of the month. This is just a special intervention fund from the presidency, from, of course, at the federal government to help the state to get balance, to get even, and make some things a little soft for their people. Well, just day before yesterday also, we finally got to a conclusion in respect to the conversation around the cabinet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, on Wednesday, the ministers were assigned their portfolios, and there's been some very interesting postings, portfolios. A lot of people had permutations, had expectations, had feel like, okay, this person should be here, or Mr. Dele Alake should be this, or this person should be this person. But Mr. President, and in his wisdom, set up his cabinet in the capacity that they can deliver. It's his responsibility. He can choose to give whoever he wants to choose any portfolio. He had some wicked got the FCT minister, and there's been quite a lot of banter on that particular issue, by the way. Talking about maybe your political party does not have a CFO, they revoke. You always know Nigerians would always find a way to make jokes, out of even the most complex of situations. Well, Mr. Festus Keyamo is actually going to be handling, the aviation. There's Mr. Wale Edun as well. Dele Alake was moved to solid minerals. Maybe the report of over $9 billion worth of gold that is being illegally taken out of the country can actually be controlled. Well, let's see. So I would expect that the next couple of days there will be some direction in respect to how all of these ministries would take. And also, I think we had about 10 different ministries. Some were pulled out, some were just set up on its own. Now we have Ministry of Youths, and then we have Ministry of Sports Development separate. Now we have Ministry of Marine and Blue Energy. Well, let's see how all of that will span out. But hopefully, these individuals, in their numbers, about 45 of them, would be able to help President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to achieve the renewed hope mandate that he sold to Nigerians, that over 8 million of them actually believed in that mandate and voted for him. The polls during the election that was conducted on the 25th of February. Now we've seen the minister, we've seen the cabinets, we've seen Lateef Fagbemi, one of the most brilliant lawyers that we have, not just in Nigeria, maybe at the continents. Also he's also going to be handling that ministry of, he's going to be the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice. Well, let's see how all of that would also, sort itself out. I think finance, trade and investment, well, let's see how all of that will work. I just hope that they will be able to support Mr. President to help him, to make a light work of his promise to Nigerians to provide dividends of democracy to them. Also, in the course of this outgoing week, we had security issues in Niger State. They were reported that over 30 military personnel were killed by bandits in that ambush. Unfortunately, I was still battling with all of those problems. I think on Tuesday also this week, I had the Commissioner for Information from Plateau State, Honorable Musa Ashom, join us talk about, the killings, the security challenges that are going on in that state. It doesn't seem to, have any positive, outcome. Meetings, stakeholders meetings, intervention policies by the government, giving out security, emergency numbers, empowering but the killings are still continuing. So, we had to bring him on board to help us tell the entire world what exactly is going on in his state. The local government of the governor was actually under curfew for a couple of weeks. So it shows that some of these issues will need to be sorted out. Even Zamfara, by the way, the immediate past governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawale, actually got the Minister of State for Defense. Okay. Now it's time for you to join the conversation. I've actually gone through virtually everything that had dominated the space, the media space, politically in the last, 5 days. And if you're joining in for the first time, what we usually do on Friday is that we don't have guests. We don't usually have any topic. We just review everything that we've done in the course of the outgoing week. So the calls we couldn't pick, the messages we couldn't read, we try to take them on Friday. So it's always really interactive. I mean, you allow yourself to come in, just vent, rant, talk, contribute, just, let it out. That's what we basically do on Fridays on the show. So 09136000410, that is the line to call. 09136000430, that is the line to text to talk to us on Miller 98.3 FM. This is the Situation Room, and this program comes up on the airwaves every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. Yes, so talk to us. Which of the stories have you followed in the course of the week? Some of the things that I've said, were you impressed with the cabinet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu after all of the waiting, and also the governor of Kaduna State, all three? So talk to us. Which of these stories are you monitoring? 09136000410.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, you have Chipapa Gwadi. I'm calling from Sango.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I contributed the morning, and the discussion in the morning was very much. And what we discussed was the usage of this bonanza to all the state government. And I was saying, the scenario has changed, paradigm shift. The president, I want everybody to believe that he's a chronic believer in federalism and the division of power, which he has been fighting for all the time we have been in the jungle together.
True.
Together with him. So he has demonstrated it by saying, look, we don't want this unity system to continue. Let people know that it is now time for us to now challenge our government at the various state level. We see that he's really trying to make federal capital a state. It's only in Nigeria, all over the world, that you see a place have guys as a federal something that will not belong to anybody. This is a carryover from slavery and colonial mentality. So like I was saying, we need more roads. Roads in the state, with that money, I don't know the state governors can manage it. Instead, there should be eliminated in their state. the fear is urgent. So I'm begging the governor, they should open up the rural road and set up agricultural settlement, farm settlement, as many as possible, so that we can mop up about 5 million youths to go to the farm immediately without waiting and to the construction site. If you have construction going on, of course, the length and breadth of this country, our children will have enough work to engage them. They will not going to farm anymore. And then talking about other issues like posting to ministry, people are condemning posting of OPEYEMI by saying to abuse. And I want everybody to know that 50% of the challenges that we have in aviation, I'm at the fire aeronautic, has to do with regulation, regulatory environment, international law, treaties, bilateral agreement, and water abuse. We don't manufacture any of the equipment we use in the aviation industry in Nigeria. And so you have to have agreement here and there with so many foreign organizations. And as a fan, I'm sure most of them the most in fact the most suited
Thank you,
when it comes to
Kibadian.
law and interpretation of international law of that
Thank you.
magnitude
Thank
to
you.
save us the calamity. So that is just the contribution. Good evening.
Thank you very much and have a very good evening. 09136000410. What do you make of all of the things that we've gone through on the show this week? What do you also make of the cabinet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? You'd expect them to, when the president said he's going to, hit the ground running, you would also expect his ministers to align and align with such thoughts. So hopefully, things would start taking more shape now. But well, we didn't have a minister of petroleum. We have a minister of state for petroleum, yes. And a lot of people asking question, is it going to be what was applicable under the last administration where Timipre Sylvia was the Minister of Petroleum for states and Muhammadu Buhari was the Minister of Petroleum. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
I'm on the road actually.
Okay.
I'm over.
Your name and where you calling from?
You have online.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
I'm with you.
Hello?
I'm with you.
Well, I pity Wale Atu and Latif Fagbemi. The question is, will Tinubu allow them to exercise their right as president, as finance minister? That's the question. Will he allow them? I thought that we have separated Attorney General of the Nation, Minister of Justice Office.
Okay. I think, Mr. Paul, you need to try and call us back. 09136000410. On the issue of whether the president would allow them work, I mean, that's one thing I find really funny. There is appointees. So if truly they align with his mandate and they trust his judgments, then he would also need to allow them work. I mean, the reason why you have ministers is because you cannot be everywhere at the same time. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mr. OPEYEMI.
Good to have you join us on the show today.
My name is Agomo. I'm calling you from Lekki. I'm no longer in Jos.
Okay, now you're with us in Lagos.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
I'll be serving here for a while.
Oh, that's good. You're welcome.
Straight by butter. Yes, sir. Let me say like my former governor. You chop, I chop. You chop alone, you die alone. Seriously. Hello?
I'm with you.
Hello, Mr. OPEYEMI.
I'm with you.
The truth is that I'm sincerely happy with some of the portfolios. But I have one in mind that seriously, immediately the thing came out, I was kind of skeptical, and I'm still skeptical. That Ministry of Labor and Employment, that minister, judging by his performance as governor, I don't think he deserves such a ministry. Even if it's compensation stuff, I don't think he deserves it. I can't imagine having someone who Plateau people regard as total failure, and then you are bringing him to a ministry that will have to do with everyone's life in Nigeria. It's not fair. That is one of my concerns. and the Ministry of Defense. Hey, I don't know, but you see, FCT and works, I'm very much okay with them because I know those people can really perform. So I don't think that the president was able to put square holes in square holes for now. But concerning those few he did, I think is well. Let's just hope maybe with time he's going to balance up and meet up to our expectations.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. 0913 in case you're just tuning in and you're wondering what we're doing on this show, this is the Situation Room live on Mainland 98.3 FM every Mondays to Fridays. We get to talk about everything: politics, policies, leadership, governance, and we tend to bring individuals, experts that could help us understand some of these policies by the government. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good to have you join us today.
Happy Friday to you.
Same to you.
My name is Ademola from Surulere.
Okay, you're welcome.
First time caller.
Okay, you're welcome to the family. Thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you very much. Yeah. What I want to say is not much. One, we have departments of agric and rural development in local government. We have department of education and we have works and housing. What are the local government doing about their functions? They just have those departments there. They are the nearest people. They are the nearest government. They are the nearest government organization to citizens, and they should be more involved in those functions at that department within each local government. That's one. Two, for the countries to move forward, the government must not forget the elderly citizens. They are not mentioning the elderly citizens as per their way forward. The elderly citizens are suffering, and we know that we have youth, women and our poverty allegations, but they should have something for the elderly citizens too as well. The elderly citizens are suffering. That's two. Three, for the portfolios of the ministers, I think each ministerial office should get itself more involved in forming committees. Committees which can deliver the goods. Functioning committees that will deliver the goods with success. So that things will be going on smoothly and success will be overall. If they form committees, that committees will involve many different opinions, suggestions, and the way to carry forward their program and project.
Thank you.
Which will involve developmental aspects in government sector. Those are the things I want to mention for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on the show today. I think everyone would agree with me that one of the bigger problems we've had in time past is sometimes we don't have a needs assessment, policy. We don't even find out what our constituents need, especially from the people in the legislative, arm of the government. We don't find out. You look into a community where their priority is public toilet, for instance, or they need clean water, and you're going there to dig. We often have misplaced projects like this, and I think that's one thing this government needs to really focus on. Give the people what they want. Prioritize the needs of the people, not just what you feel like you want to do to them. Dr. Akinnyode would always say that our politicians are supposed to be on errands for Nigerians because they brought themselves forward and we choose to vote for them. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Papa.
Good to have you today.
Nah, I speak your words. I'm calling from Okoye. I speak your words. I'm calling from
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay. Is it even though Personally, I feel the most of the ministers are just 60% recycling of the same people like you as a liability to Nigeria. I think I can single out the Attorney General, then the Finance Minister, and then Works. So for the rest, I don't really understand what they want to achieve with those people. And then I begin to wonder why the president again refused to appoint Minister for Petroleum. This has continued, and since all this from the day of Buhari, I think is it Jonathan who did similar thing? Who of us? I can't remember now, but I think for sure Buhari did similar thing. And since then, we found out that there is a lot of secrecy. Everything in NNPC has been shrouded in secrecy. So it means that even till now, we cannot demystify what is happening there because we don't know the interest of the subsequent president, or rather successive president here. Why every time they want to be minister for petroleum, and that is the reason why we ask a lot of questions that what is happening there? Why is it that our refineries cannot work? Buhari cannot answer us that question. Why is it that Buhari, under your watch from 2016, you were paying what do you call now? We were paying a subsidy. Why NNPC was the sole importer of petroleum products? So all these questions, it looks like we will continue asking the questions without getting any answer until they explain to us if there's anything clandestine in that oil ministry that we don't know. So that is the truth of the matter. So we begin to think that our leaders should be honest. Let us know exactly how they are running this country. Thank you, Opa.
Thank you very much. I think there's no gainsaying the fact that for any democracy to thrive, there has to be public accountability. You can't negotiate that. There has to be public accountability. Every single fund that is released to you at every level of government must be accounted for. Hello, good evening, Obi.
How are you?
I'm very well, and you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank God it's Friday. You know?
Well.
Please, maybe I didn't hear. What happened to Niger Delta Ministry? Is there anything, or they cancelled it? Because I learned that the Niger Deltans are doing serious meetings. They are not happy. So is there anything to that? That's what I want to know.
Well, just the list that we have with us, that particular ministry was not signed. Nobody was. Well, there's still slots left, by the way. So we never can tell. Maybe President will, in his wisdom, still choose to, assign someone in that space. A lot of people had also talked about, demystifying some of the issues that we have in this country. You look at the NNPC, for instance. You look at the CNN. You look at all of the I keep calling CNN, CBN. All of the bottled up, bureaucracy, and maybe they just need to make these things easy. I probably may have never been to other countries in this world, but right in the comfort of my home, I've had to read about governance in some other countries, even African countries. And you're wondering, this thing is not rocket science. It's not casting stones. We keep, making the same mistakes, or we keep doing the same things, and we expect to have a different results. And that's why I felt, the president should have made it easier for Nigerians to also scrutinize or be a part of the process of screening the ministerial nominees. If the presidents had attached their portfolios right at the point they were introduced to the Senate, perhaps, Nigerians will not be asking questions. But well, as the Constitution allows Mr. President, he's made his choice. Hello, good evening today.
Hello, good evening, Okoyemi.
You're welcome.
Jai Babatunde Omotosho is my name.
You're welcome.
Okay, the grants that the federal the presidency granted to the whole state, it's now time for us to hold our governors accountable. Whatever you are going to do this morning, let us know. And again, our local government are closer to us than our governor. Let our local government go to my true, for example, where I stay, Ojokuru, help the market women buy this market goods in bulk. They are bringing it to local government, go and sell for them, subsidize for them. Our chairman local government will not do anything close to that. Unless that maybe Ojodu or so is doing something like that now. Gari, yam, egg, they sell at range of 1,000. They benchmark the price at 1,000. They are making it easy for masses over there. Let other local government as well do it. And again, I will always say we are the enemies of ourselves. OPEYEMI, do you know the new railway now? There have been rackets here there. There have been rackets now. The receipt will show you are going to Ibadan, but on the receipt you see Lagos to Abeokuta. If you are coming from Ibadan, if you read Ibadan to Abeokuta, not to Lagos, please go and do a research on that one. Bring them to limelight. Okay. Let's keep calling these people out. We deserve a better Nigeria. OPEYEMI. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Latunde, for joining us on the show today. 09136000410. Prince Wise, good evening.
It's very good to you, OPEYEMI.
It's a beautiful Friday. Good to have you join us.
It's a very beautiful Friday because I'm feeling happy that on Monday my minister will get their portfolio. So that day I will be by a very big exercise to bring the assessment. Anyone afraid to perform within a year will put it out. You know, I've keep talking in Nigeria. I've done my own work. I was telling Mr. President, I don't want Minister for State for Minister for State. They are there now. I said I don't want more one to man 2 or 3 ministries. It's been in some you have been given 2 ministries. But what can I do? I've done my bit at the Nigeria to give my advice when necessary. But what remains for me now is to monitor them. Anyone that says to perform, because you can't just discard anyone now. Hey, this I won't perform. This no. Apart from my whole law, Baba, rest in perfect peace. He was a political leader. He is a lawyer and the best finance minister in this country. The what I talk about. I just need competency and the honest people to handle the job for me.
Thank you, Prince Wise.
I never used a minute. Let me round up.
Okay.
This palliative we give you yesterday, they give a 5 block of rice. Everybody, it can't be for everybody, but you must go and ask your local government, the governor, at the share. Number 1. Number 2, that 5 billion given to them, use the money. Mr. Sanwo-Olu, our governor, you don't use money to give anybody. Use money to buy buses. For Inaro, buy Korope. This is what we demand from you. PRT is working by 50% now. Who do to him? But God will never go around the whole Lagos State.
Thank you, Prince Wise. Thank you.
All Lagos. Good evening to you, my
Good evening and have a very beautiful weekend. 09136000410. Well, I made mention of the palliative that was, released to the governors yesterday by Mr. President, 5 billion each to all of the states and the FCT. And I think this is the time where we need to start asking our governors. We need to hold them to account. And just like my guest, yes, Mr. Miwade said yesterday, that Nigerians are bleeding. And so people are not going to take any form of, mismanagement. They won't take it lightly. Hello, good evening.
Demand, then sold that thing within themselves for 1,000. I sent somebody to go and do investigation immediately. I saw it. It's within themselves there. Are you getting me now?
When you said within themselves, who are the them that you are referring to?
The staff of the local government.
Of Ojodu local government.
Yes.
Ojodu should be an LCDA.
You don't understand me. What they sold there is within themselves.
So what was supposed to be, thrown open to the public was actually amongst the staff of the local government.
Yes.
Is that an allegation? Okay, yes, it is. I'll figure that out.
It's supposed to be for everybody that comes in to buy it. Now, today, I said it this morning. Today they came to my area with small nylon bag with beans and rice to come and share it for people. I have my video here. They came with video. Share it for our area in ability here. I was just laughing. They wrote video and what they call it, people that doesn't have husband or wife on it. See people kill on it and just collecting the rice. There's poverty in this land. Are we going to continue? Within a day now, they will eat the rice finish within the family. Are you getting me now?
Yes, I'm with you.
Who are they going to beg for rice again and beans? The money given to them now, who are they going to share the money to? That billions they give to them now, who are they going to share it to? Is it the party people or Nigerians? Instead of them to...
Hello? Okay. Maybe you try and call us back if you can. Well, the governors are actually the chief executive officers at the state level. So they are saddled with the responsibility of administering governance to the people. And I'm sure the Mr. President trusts them enough. That's why, the monies will be released to them. 5 billion. I mean, that's something. Depending on the size of your state, by the way. And I like the fact that everybody is getting equal. There's nothing like my state has 30 million people, your state has 400,000 people. No, everybody is getting. So I guess maybe this is one of the times where not having huge population can be an advantage, because you will ask yourself, what Zamfara, or for instance, Bayelsa will do with 5 billion? What will Lagos State or Kano or Rivers State do with the same 5 billion? Well, hello, let me talk to Ambassador Musbao.
OPEYEMI.
Good evening.
CGIF,
you're welcome.
CGIF. Yeah. To me, I just look what is going around in our country here. I just feel somehow, because to me, it's like we have lost our moral value. Honestly speaking, I'm going to say with you, we have lost our moral value. So we have to regain this back. It's what I don't know. These are the questions that beg you for answer inside me. We really lost it. Look, to me, let's talk about the ministerial position. All those ministers positions. Well, to me, the minister there, I think the person that appoints them that matter most. If who appoint them, allow them to just do whatever they like, fine. But I believe if the person appoints them, give them a target. If you fail to deliver, I will sack you. But I want to listen to what the president will tell them on Monday, on Tuesday. Trust me now. So after that, I'll be able to judge what is going on. On Monday, yes. So let's for Monday. But to me, look sharp qualities. To me, it's like we are so centered. We like to explore each other, and we have to take advantage of ourselves. Look, this quality, whatever, they are giving people the same price, the same amount to Lagos, Ebonyi, Kaduna, Lagos, everywhere. And what are the population of all these states? I think there is a industry there. Just Lagos about almost 20 million, over 20 million population, and there's a state 1 to 4 million. There's a state 1 to 7 million. Maybe to color the state to share. It's right for Lagos and Ebonyi.
Ambassador Musba.
Okay.
Zero. I just quickly had to pick that. I understand where that comes equality or derivatives or whatever are populated. Well, you have to manage the 5 billion, and if your state is underpopulated, it's an advantage for you. Just make sure that the monies go around and then the people feel the impact. It is not for people or for House of Assembly members to start getting cars of 30 million naira each. No, that's not what the money is meant for. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
You're welcome, Mr. Larry.
Yeah, thank you. Let me start with the minister. When you build a house on a bad foundation, that house will not stand. The last administration, it started by the like this. In fact, they were using war. Nepotism. We added nepotism to it. And some people, even if you tell them, people are talking and do like this, it's still nepotistic. It's giving the job of a carpenter. So they don't care. They will perform. All the best. These are the of the game. Now, on the 5 billion naira, I'm telling you that money is gone on arrival. Just the best. These people in power expect nothing from them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 09136000410. If we say that these people in power, we should expect nothing from them, then why did we vote them into office in the first place? I think we need to, start getting things right. And I think it was Ambassador Musba that talked about moral values. I'm not a moralist. For the people close enough to me, I feel everyone deserves to have a chance to life, irrespective of your social status. So I don't judge people based on moral standard or moral expectations. I feel a society can function based on the understanding of the people in that society. However, there's a particular trend now that I've been seeing, and it seems really disturbing. I understand the whole energy around, making content and skits and all of that, but there's a particular trend now that is actually kind of promoting, the whole kanayo conversation, people making skits, content around, ritualists, and I'm wondering how come did we get to that point where we don't even know when to draw the lines. We just put everything out there just to gather the traffic and get our content monetized, and we're living large. We forget that everything out there are a lot of people that could have a different understanding about the fact that, a lot of people won't even know that this is a skit. Somebody will think that, this is real. So this guy actually did ritual before he made his money. And I've been seeing this trend, and it's really worrying. So it was when Ambassador Musba made mention of moral values, and I just remember that we stood so low to the point that we don't even think there's anything wrong in terms of what we put out in our social spaces anymore. Well, the conversation around the regulation of the social media, it's getting louder by the day, because it looks like we have a society that is ready to, take anything, whatever it is you put out, just put it out there. Nobody is regulating it. Even if it's a skit that is promoting child pornography, a skit that feels like an underage abuse, all of these things just fly around the social media. And when I started seeing these particular skits, maybe Kanayo, people doing ritual, and then Kanayo advising, and I'm like, okay, this is not attacking anyone. This is just me trying to tell us that in the midst of all of this chaos, some people are benefiting from all of this chaos. And if you contribute to damaging the fiber of the society you want to grow, even if you escape it, there will be people after you that may feel the pain. Hello, good evening. Hello. There's so much noise where you are. Maybe you can change the location a little.
Okay, I'll try to do that. I bet you the information.
You're welcome, Baturi.
Thank you. I think today is open night.
Yes, please.
Also good. I feel like I think I have to waiting for.
I still can't hear what you are saying, and I would not want to take you out. So just quickly let me move to one side.
Well, you hear me now?
Yes, I think it's better now.
I say I'm actually waiting for Monday when, should I call it inauguration, when the minister will carry the hand of their portfolio and all those stuff. The speech from the president to them actually determine, should I say their body language, or what are we expecting from them? Because the truth is, when some people say that this XYZ person, this XYZ minister has appointed should not be there or disappointed.
I think you will have to call us back. It's really difficult hearing you well, and I would really appreciate if you can call us back. 09136000410. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's another Friday. Good to have you join us.
Yeah. In conclusion, I need to come back. I'm not on the line. In conclusion, who is serving us, or are we serving them? Are they serving us, or are we serving them?
And they're supposed to be serving us. That's why they call them public servants.
So when you talk now, you will get arrested because you are telling them the truth. When you ask them to go and use their money to go and buy vehicle now, are they going to maintain it in the next 6 months?
Okay. Let me go into read some messages here. I have a few of them. 09136000410. I would appreciate if you can allow other people to also join the conversation. If I've picked your calls earlier on, yes, keep your messages coming in. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good to have you join us on the show today.
My name is Emmanuel, calling from K2.
Emmanuel, you're welcome.
Please, I want you to enlighten us what happened in what's the name of this state? Major State. Where
I think officers were actually attacked and a lot of them were killed. I don't think it's something that we should elaborate, but I think that's actually the little brief I can give you. Sam from Agodo is texting and it says politicians and the government intentionally impoverish the people so that they can be easily manipulated. Nigerians should reject palliatives, we're not beggars. I know the poor and some Nigerians will easily be lured with the rice palliative because of the state of the country. Why can't the government make things work in this country? Country work. Good for that. We go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
this is the divide. Seven federation, you have no choice, Abuja. And we're even saying that in every federation unit, federal government will hand over all the so-called federal roles in those states to the state federation unit. So if we don't trust them, that is just too bad. We elected them, do what we want now. So please.
I have more messages here and fail to account for every level. Local government level. At this point, there's any point. The people are going through a lot. People just want stability on how accountability in this space. And they tell you, oh, there's straight out money, there's condition. We just hand, this money is over to the people. We don't do follow-up. We don't even know if the person you gave 20,000 naira to start a business actually used the money to eat for the weekend or you actually started that business. So the government just issues these handouts and then we don't even go back to monitor, because whether we like it or not, these small businesses would have to be empowered by the government. That's the simple truth. The employers of 10s, of 20s, maybe of 50, of 100, according to the international labor laws, these people are actually the ones that would stimulate the economy, the small-scale business owners, and the government needs to give them the handouts. The government needs to support these small businesses so that, the people can organize themselves in little spaces and try to stimulate the economy. We're not all going to wait for the big companies to employ 500 people, 1,000 people, 5,000 people, the small ones. And one of the biggest empowerments that everyone in this country would appreciate now is to fix the power sector. I hope that, Mr. De La Buddha's, the new Minister of Power, would understand the weight of expectations that is actually on him right now. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good to have you join us on the show today.
Thank you. My name is Don Peter.
Don Peters, you're welcome.
Okay, I'm a bit lost. I need clarity. This intervention, would it be happening every month or once in a year, or we think got exhausted? Naira, would it end? Because to run a container economy, where during the campaign, I thought they have a better economic idea, a genuine way of economy. But I'm a bit confused that we are being given stipends. We are being given a cup of rice, like beggars, like people who are in a IDP camp, when we are not at war. Well, a lot of things have been going on in my head since today. I'm just lost in exactly what is happening in Nigeria with the kind country they want us to run. Oh, but believe me, I'm 43 years of age, and all my years have been here in Nigeria, most especially Lagos. And I spent some time in East Africa and Europe, and I came back to establish my business here in Nigeria. Oh, but I can tell you for free, I have never seen an economy that is run this way. Once see Nigeria where people are working in factories. Once see Nigeria in solo to buy things from the made in Nigeria from our country when nothing has happened. I don't just get it.
Thank you, Don
Please,
Peters.
Ope, help me to talk to these guys, please. What we need is an enabling environment. Let them just do the infrastructure, give us power. Give us enabling environment of where we are hardworking, we can make it. We can feed the rest of Africa. We don't need all these stipends. We need an enabling environment.
Thank you, Don Peters.
That is what we need. That is the only intervention we need. Enabling environment. Please, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, unfortunately, that will be the last call I'll pick for today. And that means that'll be the last call I'll pick for the week on the show. Well, like I said, And I've said it over and over again. Nothing sustains democracy like accountability. If the people feel comfortable, if the people trust you enough, democracy will thrive. It's the countries around the world that have a functional democracy, that governance on them. It is the people